Could you describe what time orientation is and why it matters, why it's so important?
Yeah. Well, it's connected to, well, it doesn't matter what it's connected to right now. Never mind. So yeah, each number fits into one of three time orientations: future-oriented, present-oriented, or past-oriented. And time orientation simply is this, that where you are grounded. It doesn't mean that not every number doesn't maybe think about the future or reflect on the past. I can be fairly nostalgic, actually, into the past. But where I'm grounded is what opportunities lie before me in the future. So when I'm nostalgic in the past, I'm using that nostalgia to think about what could be in the future as a 3. So 3, 7s, and 8s are future-oriented. 1s, 2s, and 6s are present time-oriented, meaning they're just grounded in the present of what's happening here. So even for some people, this is counterintuitive. They think, but a 6 can sometimes worst case scenario out. Isn't that future? It's not. It's taking the present moment and thinking about all the things that could go wrong in the present with this situation. And so they're right there in the present, even if it's like, oh, we're going on a trip and we might have a flat tire and what could happen with that. It goes back to, so what can I do in the present to make sure we don't get a flat tire and aren't stranded in the middle of Kansas on the interstate? But it's present grounded. So 1, 2s, and 6s are present, and then 4, 5s, and 9s are grounded in the past. So they talk about the past. A way of this being seen is simply if a couple, let's say it's a married couple is just lying down in bed reflecting on the day. A 3, 7, and 8 is going to reflect on their day by talking about what they're going to do tomorrow because of today. They might not even mention today. Like, well, how was your day? Well, it was good because tomorrow I'm going to, and they just move there. The 1, 2, and 6 will just talk about the day. And the 4, 5, and 9 will reflect on all the things that happened in the day and what things they want to go back and change and wish they hadn't had that conversation or said it that way. And then they might start going back not just one day, but a couple days or even a week and keep going.
All right, so Betsie, let me ask you, how is this insight helpful for relationship and communication?
Well,
we're off script, I know.
I would say for me, being able to understand David and where he's coming from and a little bit more of his motivations, it just helps me to communicate with him in a way that is helpful and loving and meets his needs more than just like communicating in a way that I like or in my style. You know, it's easy, right, to like, if you love to receive gifts from, like that's your love language, then you would tend probably to give a gift to somebody because that's what you love. And so it's kind of like self-focused a little bit. So if I can turn it around instead of thinking about my style and what I need and think about what he is needing, then we both benefit, right?
Well, and look, it's as simple as for me, because I'm future-oriented, I end up being quick thinking and I end up interrupting her. So she's trying to tell me something, and she's just in the present moment with it. I'm already in my head, heard half of what she said, already decided what she's going to say for the other half, so I'm already at what this means for the future, and I ended up either talking over her, interrupting her, or finishing her sentence, usually wrong, by the way. And so that's like me forcing my time orientation in a way on her. And so that just plays out for us in these ways as well. Let me just say, too, this has been a tremendous gift for us this summer because we've been in a season of transition that has impacted us in terms of occupation and in terms of even our financial situation, for example. And so I've said to her at times when I've been future-oriented, anxious, worried about what this holds and some of our financial situation. And so I'll say, are you doing okay? Are you worried about this, anxious? And she'll just say, well, we have money today. And I'm like, how do you do that? I'm worried about where our money's going to come from. She's not even thinking because she's present-oriented. We have money today. We're okay. And that is a gift. Yeah. A gift because I need that grounding. Otherwise, I go to deeper anxiety. But she also needs me to be thinking about the future, so we're actually prepared for that at the same time.
Betsie, tell me, how does that work? Because in one sense, if you take a trip out to Kansas, you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong between here and Kansas, but you're not. But that's if you use that as a metaphor for the journey in the head, you're not thinking that way about the future, but you are thinking about that way in a trip. Like in a trip, you would think, what are all the things that could go wrong? But in right now, you transitioning, you're not thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Well, how does that work?
Well, I will say, like, it's actually doing the work. I mean, if you are like doing the work to like work the Enneagram, to learn about yourself, to take care of your soul, that and be strengthened, then you have, like for me, then I have the courage that I need, and I am not going to automatically go to that worst case scenario thinking, or like if I have like, I might just have like a fleeting thought, and it doesn't, it's just kind of like for me in strength, I can just say, that might happen, but it probably won't. And yeah, God's going to take care of us, and like just not go there. So I would say being healthy and strong in your in character, and taking the time to go deeper in like the soul transformation, obviously is like what makes you healthier, so that you aren't going to those unhealthy thoughts immediately.